Hello, it's Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot, and today we'll be taking a look at the gorgeous Angels and Ancestors cards published by Hay House. In this empowering oracle deck, the author and artist tap into the cultural energies of Celtic, Native American, Aboriginal, and Earth-based spirituality to share ageless wisdom from healers, warriors, and wise ones. Angels and Ancestors is created by Kyle Gray, who is an angel expert and teacher of ancient spiritual knowledge. This deck features the stunning artwork by the very talented Lily Moses, who is an Australian-based artist who uses symbols and archetypes of myth and legend to tell visual stories. This deck comes in a sturdy two-piece box, and it has lovely gold gilding all the way around. The top and bottom both have an inscription and a dedication inside, which is a very lovely touch. I don't often keep my decks in their boxes unless they come in a beautiful box like this one. The deck itself comes with 55 cards that measure about 3.5 by 5 inches, which is a pretty nice standard size for an oracle. The cardstock, in my opinion, is pretty much perfect. It's a good weight, it's not too thin, but it's not too thick either. And it has this wonderful matte finish that feels like silk in your hand. So the color printing is high quality, and you can see it is deep and rich and accentuated by that wonderful finish. The images are borderless, which I quite prefer, and fill out the card beautifully. The backs have this beautiful distressed teal texture to them, along with the image of the drum, the owl, and the horns, all which make an appearance in several of the cards in this deck. Each card is titled and includes an active key phrase. The cards are not numbered and in no particular order, and as the author says, every single card offers an opportunity for you to connect with the powers that be and the guidance that comes from the angels, ancestors, and even the earth. They are listed alphabetically in the guidebook, so I'm going to show you here, according to their different structures. So it is really easy to find them in the book and work with them in conjunction with the book. So the guidebook is about the same size as the cards, which means it fits nicely in the box for storage. It's pretty thick, and it is all in one language, which is nice, and it does have quite a bit of information about each of the cards. So the booklet opens up with an introduction, which is quite lovely. And it begins, congregating within the hidden spiritual realms are angels and ancestors who are using their wisdom to help heal the earth. We can access this incredible force of love, but first we must be willing. This oracle will help you forge that connection. This was a beautiful beginning to an introduction. So in this deck you will find angels that Gray describes as the divine beings, pre-human intelligent souls who are charged with the monitoring of the well-being of all sentient beings, and ancestors who are the souls of the departed wisdom keepers from all the parts of the world. Together, the angels and ancestors bring a powerful offering of wisdom that can help us in our spiritual and physical life. So the book talks about the structure of the deck, which we'll go into here in just a moment. It does include a couple of lovely connection and cleansing. There's a connection ceremony. It has a lovely little prayer or ritual that you can use with it. It talks about working with your oracle cards, how to store them. It does include a couple of spreads. We have a Celtic compass spread. We have a past life lesson spread, which is interesting. A basic 3 card and a basic 1 card. And then it talks about going into some jumping cards and reverse, so some basic information. So before we begin looking through the cards, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages for each card in the book so you can get an idea of the voice of this deck. So let's start with our shaman, who is trust in higher forces. So the short message is trust in your angels, guides, and ancestors. If you have given your power away, claim it back. Then we have information about the shamans here. And then we have our extended message, which is, there are spiritual allies working in your favor, and their miracles will unfold much more easily when you move into a state of trust. So call back your power and stop allowing external forces to divert you from the miracles you deserve. Hand over all your concerns to your spiritual allies. When you do so, you allow them to send you intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct the situation and come out on top. The Shaman card also shows you that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. So you have a beautiful little message in both, and we have that for every card. So the guidebook is really wonderful for using it alongside the cards in readings. First off, let me just say that this is the only angel deck I own. I generally don't do decks with angels. That's just not something that really resonates with me. But when I saw the artwork on this deck, I just knew I had to have it, like the angels aside. The artwork is gorgeous, and Miss Moses brings these beautiful messengers, warriors, and wisdom keepers to life with stunning detail in these rich, deep colors. So while I do really enjoy the system and the messages of this deck, the artwork is really where this deck shines. It gives this deck an earthy and almost shamanic feel that sets it apart from the usual assortment of ethereal angel decks. I think that down-to-earth vibe of this deck will definitely help to broaden its appeal, as it makes the concept of connecting with the angelic or spiritual realm feel a bit more accessible, especially for people like me who don't really resonate with the traditional angelic imagery. So while there is no particular order or numbering system on this deck, the cards are grouped into 4 categories or designations. So first we have the sacred ones, which includes the 30 ancestors, the shamans, the warriors, and the wise ones who bring their spiritual knowledge from the past. So let's just take a quick peek at these beautiful cards. So we have the Hermit, which was retreat and recharge, She-Wolf, unleash the wild within, White Witch, be the light, Trader, exchange energy to create abundance, Mother Earth, feel love and comforted, High Priest, intend and create, Father Sky, trust in the unknown, Druid, hold the space, Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns, Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right, Great Teacher, learn from spiritual experiences, Knight, be brave and honest, Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts, Shield Maiden, make plans and focus, Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action, Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards, Hunter, track down your fears and desires, Wise One, grow within your current situation, High Priestess, harness mystic power, Traveler, move in new direction, Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing, Warrior, be fearless and stand strong, Oracle, wait for important information, Lord, take charge with authority, Seer, see beyond the current situation, Stargazer, set your sights higher, Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul, and Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Now you may have noticed that there are several pairs in this deck. We have the Mother Earth and Father Sky, which make a lovely pair. Here we have the High Priest and the High Priestess. And if we actually turn them this way, they make wings. And if you place them on either the other side of each other, whoops, sticky on there, they are facing each other, which is really neat. A nod to the Christian religions here with the Great Teacher and the Knight. I think that's really beautiful. We have a nod to the Norse or Viking heritage with the Shield Maiden and the Hunter. Here we have the Lady and the Lord. Here he is. So it gives you an idea that actually several of these cards do pair up together, which is really beautiful. You can see even we have the She-Wolf and the Shapeshifter. So these cards can be used for a lot of different things other than just readings. You can also do some ancestor work with them. You can also do guide work. You can do path working. The only 2 cards that I really don't care for are these 2 in this deck, and that's the Star Ancestor and the Stargazer. I feel like they're just a little too close, and I'm just not sure about the design on them. But other than that, I think that all of these sacred ones are absolutely beautiful. The wise one is one of my favorites. The medicine mother, again, another favorite. I love the warrior, love the oracle. So I think you can just get really beautiful messages just simply using these 30 sacred ones. But we do also have, set these aside, we do also have 12 guardians. And this I like because the guardians are what would be the angel energy in this deck. And I do like that they are called guardians rather than angels. So they are the keepers of the directions and the angels of the elements who will help you connect with your primal needs and desires for fulfilled life. This is my absolute favorite angel or guardian card in this deck. This is the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. I think that is a gorgeous card. I love the illustration in it. And I think the message is really spot on as well. Here we have the Guardian Angel. You are not alone. This is the only card in the deck that does feature the word angel. And I like that it's just the feather and that there's not an actual angelic being in this card, because I think that really opens it up and allows it to be a bit more flexible. Here we have the Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. Animal Guardian, trust your instincts, and this is the card that's on the box and the guidebook. The Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. The Direction Guardian, choose your path. The Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. The Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. The Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. The Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. The Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. And the Air Guardian, shift your perception. So these are really beautiful. There's only a couple in here that kind of get a little too, this one's just a little too angelic-y for me, and this one. It's a beautiful card, nothing wrong with that. It's just a little bit tilting toward the kind of traditional angelic imagery, and I much prefer something like this. This is just beautiful. So next we have the 9 warrior symbols. And these are the cards that offer the lessons and reveal important information to aid you on your growth. These are a wonderful addition to the deck. So here we have the Drum, which is dream and journey. Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Stag, trust and thrive. Eagle, see from a higher perspective. Snake, shed old skin. Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Mountains, stand your ground. So I think those are really beautiful. There's so many things that you can do with these cards. You can tap into the energy. You can set them out for intention. You can, of course, use them in a reading for higher messages. I think they're a really beautiful addition to the deck. So these are the 9 warrior symbols. And finally, we have the beautiful 4 seasons cards. So these cards help you tap into the medicine of powerful seasonal energy. So here we have winter, taking care of your needs with the beautiful wolf. Spring, see your seeds grow with the hare. Summer, bask in joy and light with the bee. And autumn, release the old and rest with the raven or the crow. How beautiful are those? So these, set these out and you have wonderful seasonal intention cards for these to represent each of the seasons. Then you could add in some of your warrior symbols. And then you can add a guardian. And this would be a wonderful way to give you an overview, like a yearly overview. I think this is fabulous. Let me scoot these up a little bit. And then we can add an ancestor. So you can see here that we can get this beautiful rounded reading or intention or message by combining these systems together. You can, of course, put all of these cards together and do a traditional reading with them by just, mixing them all up, which we'll do here in a minute. But what I really love about this system is that it does have its own system, and you have these 4 separate elements. You have the seasons, you have the symbols, you have the guardians, and you have the ancestors. And I think together that is just really beautiful. Then here we have for spring, see your seeds grow. Stag, trust and thrive in that growth. The guardian, know that you are not alone as you embark on this growth journey. And sage, be devoted and committed to this journey that you are creating. How beautiful are these together? So this is one of the things that I really love about this deck. And one of the ways that I tend to use this deck is not actually as a mixed deck and to do just a general oracle reading, although sometimes I do pull from the deck just to have a message to wrap up a reading, a tarot reading. But I particularly like this deck for this assortment, to pull from each of the 4 elements in this deck to create readings and messages that really are a lot more intentional rather than just mixing all the cards together and throw them all down. So the deck really does lay out beautifully. So let's just mix them all together in case you'd like to see. And I do want to mention that I have edged my deck. It does not come this way. It comes with your standard white edging. This is sort of a yellowy, antique-y, worn look that I did with multiple layers of different types of inks to match this kind of distressed look on the back. So just wanted to point that out. So this deck shuffles really quite well, considering it is large. You can see as I'm trying to get my hand around it, it's a large deck. But it does shuffle beautifully. It doesn't really bridge back together well, but you can slide it back together because of that beautiful matte finish. You can tell I am getting a little bit of a bow in mine because I do rifle shuffle. So let's just lay out a couple. I generally don't do big spreads with oracles, but just to kind of show you how it looks. So this might be one way that you might want to do, the 4 elements, or the my favorite is, body, heart, mind, and soul. That tends to be my go-to. They're just stunning cards. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous. So what really resonated with me most about this deck was the artwork is simply stunning. It is beautifully executed. It is thoughtfully created, and it is really energetically in tune with the messages. I love the action phrases on each card. So rather than just giving you a keyword as to the meanings of the cards, it kind of gives you a plan to follow, and I really like that about this deck. The different segments of the deck, or the different sections with the your sacred ones, your guardians, your symbols, and your seasons, really provide a lot of flexibility in how you can use this deck. So the messages in the book are really quite straightforward and to the point, but they are also very beautifully written, which makes them really great for quick draws, and the extended messages really do offer some insights into some deeper reflections, which is really beautiful. So the only few things that I have found challenging about this deck are that a few of the cards do have some similar messages. So if you're doing a larger reading and those cards come up together, it can feel a bit repetitive. I guess you could, however, see that as a reinforcing the message. So perhaps that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely not a drawback to the deck. It's just something that I have noticed in working with this deck. And as I said before, it can be a little bit difficult to shuffle, at least at first, because you do need to kind of break it in. But I'm really not complaining because I actually love that these cards are a little bit bigger because the artwork is just so gorgeous and just stunning. This is one of those decks that I can just sit and look at and just take it all in because it is beautiful. I love that it's borderless. I love that it's larger. And of course, I love that it's matte. That's my favorite. So this deck, which is thankfully more ancestor than angel, is a stunning earthy deck that taps into the ancient knowledge and provides spiritual guidance and medicine wisdom to help you on your path to living in alignment with your inner voice. So thank you for taking this journey with me through the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. I hope that you enjoyed exploring this deck and will join me again soon for more creative tarot for an inspired life.